This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. A couple years ago, I went through one of the toughest health episodes of my life. I found myself in a really, really dark place, and honestly, it felt like the world was caving in all around me. I didn't know where to turn or what to do. I knew I needed something, but it just seemed like nothing was working. And therapy didn't work for me in the past. But then, with the encouragement of my wife, I decided to give today's sponsor BetterHelp a try, even though I was a little skeptical at first. And let me say, it was so different. I connected with a therapist, and simply talking with her helped me lower my anxiety in ways I didn't expect. Sometimes it's just about having someone outside of your family to listen, and BetterHelp made that so easy. What I love most about BetterHelp is the flexibility. You don't have to commit to months of sessions if that's not what you need. Sometimes a few sessions are all it takes to get some relief, to take the edge off, and start feeling a little better. Plus, they have a wide selection of therapists. You can find someone you really click with, and if you don't, you can switch therapists anytime and no extra cost. If you're like me, someone who gets stuck in their head a lot, BetterHelp might be the answer. And right now, if you visit betterhelp.com/sold-separately or use the link in this video's description, you can get 10% off your first month. So give it a try. Remember, you can't take care of anyone else in your life until you take care of yourself.
Auto sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now, on with the show.
Hi, I'm Mallory Lewis.
And I'm Lancha.
And for me, happiness is being with my son and my husband and my friend and the horses.
What about me?
Well, you speak for yourself. What is happiness?
Happiness is being with all of you and being close to Mallory.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hello, Mallory Lewis. So nice for you to spend some time with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me all the way from Portugal.
That's right. You were just telling me that you'd been there 9-10 days, right?
Yep. We arrived at the end of a 2-week tour that I had done where I had 5 shows in 12 days. And we were supposed to get here a week, 5 days prior to when we did arrive. But as we're sitting in the hotel in Washington, D.C., and my last gig, so sweet, I shipped them 7 suitcases, which they held for 3 weeks for me. We get an email from the Portuguese embassy saying you have to go back to the San Francisco embassy and pick up your visas. It's the only embassy in the country, the only branch of the Portuguese embassies, where they have to physically put your visa in your passport as opposed to it being electronic or something like that. So there we were in Washington, D.C., and my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, okay. I started changing one plane ticket. He started changing another plane ticket. And we flipped back to the West Coast, got our visas, and escaped.
Wow. So a little trickier than you had hoped probably to get once you got going, but you made it. That's awesome. Yeah. Any reason that to pick Portugal, or is that where family's from originally? Or?
During Trump 1.0, I started looking at where I wanted to escape to, and Portugal was what we decided. It's a very small country. And, once America is unbalanced, literally the whole world goes out of balance. And France and Germany and Italy and Spain did not do very well during the last World War. But Portugal was pretty much fine because it's small. Why would you? It's like bothering with, a small child in terms of size and influence. It's a lovely country where children are fed, children are educated, the old are taken care of. Healthcare is free and of very high quality. People are free to love whoever they want to love and use whatever pronouns they want to use without. So it appealed to me in terms of its social constructs. And I feel like it'll be a lovely safe haven to ride out a upcoming bumpy experience.
And you can be based there and always get to where you need to go for shows and for tours and other
Yes,
things.
I
So
will be coming home. I've got a show in Pennsylvania in May. And, but actually, I thought I had to move a couple of gigs that I have in August because I assumed when you get a visa, okay, you can come and go. You get 2 entries on your first visa. And we don't get our second, and we used one of them just to get here. And we don't get our second visa until August. So I had to move a couple of gigs that I had in August. I mean, technically, we can travel in the EU because it's the EU. But we're really enjoying the incredibly kind people here, and we have a beautiful tiny apartment. But they had 3 bedrooms, and one of them had bunk beds in it. We had the owners take the bunk beds out because we don't have small children. And
right.
Instead, I put in a built-in closet because
There you go.
I needed that. And there's horses here, and they're sailing here, and we live above a bar. We're like 4 floors up, which is hysterical because we lived in Malibu where we were 5 miles from the closest grocery store. So there's 38 restaurants within an 8-minute walk. It's perfect.
That's awesome. It sounds like a really cool place to live. That's awesome. Well, your mom is, of course, the great Shari Lewis, and you picked up your mom's legacy after her passing in was it 1998?
Yes.
When she passed?
I've been doing it 26 years now.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, that legacy has gone on for so long and entertained so many people, adults and children alike. Can you tell us a little bit about your mom and how Lamb Chop was born?
Yes, I can. My grandpa was Peter Pan the Magic Man, the official magician for the city of New York. And my grandmother ran the music departments for the Bronx school districts. So my mom was raised in this wonderful world of music and magic and vaudeville because, she was born in the 30s. So it was like the tail end of vaudeville. Now, with my grandpa being a magician, all of his friends were performers of some sort. And so mom learned how to juggle badly when she was young. My grandmother made sure she could play the piano and the violin. Turns out both badly. She loved dancing. That was her thing. And she danced with the American Ballet Theater for a little while. But my mom was short, and she was built on the curvy Jewish model. And there was zero chance of a 5-foot-tall, curvy girl being a prima ballerina. It was not an inclusive age. So, and my mom was not a chorus girl kind of person. She wanted to be front and center. And my grandfather had gotten her some like wooden dummies, and at some point hired this great old vaudevillian ventriloquist to teach her ventriloquism. And so mom got a show with Taffy Twinkle and Samson. I don't know what his last name was or middle name. I don't know quite. And it was great. And then the Captain Kangaroo show called, and they said, "We love you, but we hate your puppets. They're so big. Do you have anything else?" And this is where the story gets a little murky. I had always been told that my grandfather had given Lamb Chop to my mom and said, "If Mary can have a little lamb, why can't Shari have a little lamb?" I believed until I wrote my mom's autobiography, which was only like a couple of years ago. I believed that was how Lamb Chop was born. But it turns out mom saw a felt, like a puppet made by a famous felt artist of the day, and commissioned Lamb Chop to be built. And so she did Captain Kangaroo with Lamb Chop, and the rest was history.
Wow. So she actually, she had a commission. That's interesting. Wow.
At least
the whole idea of,
at least that's the current version of the story.
Yeah, isn't it funny how stories can kind of take on different elements
Well,
and just
and
depending on how it passes down.
we all forget to ask our parents questions.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, I mean, I think part of it, I saw a great TikTok the other day. It was like 5 questions you should ask. Make sure if your parents are still alive, these 5 questions you need to ask them now. And they were just simple things like, what is your earliest memory of me, Mom? What was the best and worst parts of being a parent? When you were 12, what did you want to be when you grew up? I mean, we just don't ask our parents enough.
Yeah, and then when they're gone, we regret that we didn't have
Yep.
write those answers down or videotape them. I mean, what a great
Yep.
thing that would be to actually interview your parents. And
Luckily, I
well,
have hundreds and hundreds of hours
oh,
of footage.
yeah, you have plenty, which is a
I'm
good thing.
I'm very lucky. That's why when I do my shows, the shows are 50% me and Lamb Chop performing, and 50% me curating stories about Mom and showing videos of Mom. So,
what a beautiful part to put into the show. That's awesome. That to kind of incorporate her. It's almost like you guys are. Well, you are there together. You're entertaining together.
I always say to the audience at the beginning, listen, I know that you wish you could have bought a ticket to see Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop. I wish you could have bought a ticket to see Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop. But you're going to get whichever Shari you remember, whether it's the high ponytail and the tight sweater, or the shag, or the bob, or the tight curls, or the tight curls with the high ponytail. Whichever Shari is your Shari, you will get to see her.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Did you as a kid when your mom was entertaining? I know you had to be super proud of her, or was that just Mom back then? That's just what Mom did,
it was just Mom when I was a kid. I went to school with Gene Hackman's kid, with Roger Moore's kid, Shirley Jones. I mean, so Mom wasn't even famous on the Richter scale that was our school. And I was I always loved touring with her, and I loved it when she did Vegas, because she did a lot of Vegas. Lamb Chop's drug routine, and I loved producing Lamb Chop's play along at Charlie Horse Music Pizza, because as a producer, all you really want is talented on camera. Like if your stars are good, all you have to do is support them. You don't have to do much beyond making sure they have everything they need in order to succeed.
So true. Yeah. The life of a producer is making keeping the plate spinning, I guess, and just making sure that, like you said, they have everything that they need to entertain. It reminded me when you mentioned Captain Kangaroo, I had forgotten that part. Did she ever mention what it was like working with him? He seemed like a really nice man. No.
I got nothing on that one.
That one.
Yeah.
I just wondered if he was.
It's every once in a while someone will ask me a question where I go, I don't know.
Don't know. She never mentioned it. Yeah.
I wasn't there. I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. Yeah, some things I guess it depends on our parents, what they want to bring up and talk about. And some things, like you said, there are mysteries that we don't know or be able to plug in. That whole idea of
a bad story though about him. So
yeah, well, that's good.
I do have a list which I will not go into while being recorded, but I can tell you some people who were less than good to work with, and he did not make that list.
Okay, well, that's good. That keeps my thoughts of him intact. The whole idea of the infotainment with kids and with adults too is it was really important to your mom and now yourself as well, right? That's kind of is that the key in keeping kids involved?
I feel like everything goes in cycles, and mom was one of the early. She created the term edutainment, and she really believed that we have to invest in our kids because they are our only known source of adults. And then she got kicked off the air by Haim Saban's Power Rangers, which was literally just a half-hour commercial to sell toys. Yeah. And then the pendulum swung back, and she was ready because she had continued to work during all of that time, just not on television a lot. She was ready for when PBS wanted to expand its live action kids. And now we're back to, in general, just cartoons, things like that. There's a couple of people who have really great shows on YouTube. Danny Joe's Treehouse is one of my favorites. I shout out to Danny Joe. He does very old school puppetry, but with very important social messaging. And he is wonderful on camera. Like he should be a star, and I think he will be. He's like Steve from Blue's Clues meets, I don't know, I don't have a meets, but with that kind of warmth and energy. And he's a dancer and gymnast. He's an old school performer with straight white hair that sticks up, but he's got a really young face. And the show's just really well done. I actually got to do a guest appearance on it, which was great.
That's awesome. I think shows like that, more people doing that stuff on social media or YouTube. I think that's just, it's good for kids to have an outlet of good stuff that they can get to, and parents can introduce them to. I tend
to focus my social media on adults. I mean, I don't currently have something on YouTube. I definitely, I've got almost Lamb Chop. It's not me they're watching. Lamb Chop has almost 500,000 followers across the platforms. And
wow.
We delve into politics a little bit, but in general, I'm so disgusted by the whole thing that I don't want to bring myself or anyone else down. But we enjoy working together, me and my little sister, and Hush Puppy plays and Charlie Horse plays. And I think for the grown-ups, it's my audience tends to be 30 years old to dead. And I think everybody enjoys just a momentary break from the craziness that is our world at the moment.
It's whenever you turn the TV on or you see, it's just, we're bombarded every day with what seems like bad news, and to have an outlet like that is so important for your mental health, and just to know to let yourself know, hey, this is going on, but we'll be okay. It's just a matter of getting through whatever it is that you're going through.
We're not ultimately going to be okay. We can still have fun along the way.
Right, till it's over. We could have fun. When you started, you could have, I know there's supporting characters now, but you probably could have picked up any character and made it your own. Why was it so important to you to keep the legacy of Lamb Chop going?
Well, because she's my little sister. I don't know how else to even describe it. And it was something my mom had worked. My mom died very young. She's only 2 years older than I am now. So I, of course, consider that very young. She died at 64, and she wasn't done. And so as her producer, I had lost my big star. I still had my little star.
Wow. And that was a part of your mom. So you were able to work with her, and what type of your own spin did you put on Lamb Chop to kind of make it your own?
I am not Lamb Chop's mother. I'm Lamb Chop's sister. And do you have siblings?
I do. I have 2 brothers.
Okay. So your relationship with your brothers is very different than your relationship with your dad.
Sure.
So Lamb Chop's relationship with me is more different than,
because I don't really think much of. She's okay. I'm grateful that she took me to Portugal with her and didn't leave me at home in some sort of shipping container. But basically, she's my sister and I love her, but I don't respect her.
Thank you for that.
That's okay.
That's great. Lamb Chop, it's good to see you. What do you think of Portugal?
Well, I haven't been out of the house yet. But I like it. I have a pretty view from inside my Ziploc bag that she keeps me in. It's waterproof. It keeps you safe. And, sometimes she'll take it out onto the balcony and I can look at the ocean. But yeah,
At least you can see through it, right?
I can see through it, yeah, except when it gets dirty. And then, big deal. I get a whole new bag. I've done some TikToks from here, and that's been fun. But, she doesn't take me to dinner or anything. Sorry. It's okay.
No. I bet she takes really good care of you, though.
She does. Yeah.
We just sent Lamb Chop to the Center for Puppetry Arts.
Or as I like to call it, the plastic surgeons.
The center has some amazing curators. They took curators, fabric curators, and taught them about puppets. And then they took puppeteers and taught them about museum curation. And
so I went and I got delinted and I got my eyelashes fixed and I got my buttons sewn on, because I'm a 68-year-old sock. That's not easy. That's not, that's a lot for a sock.
And you have to look your best when you're on stage.
Oh, I constantly have to look my best. I do TikToks every day and Instagrams. And, people like to see a lamb stay young looking.
That's right. We all do. That's right.
Yes, how well is that?
Well, you are very special. What do you miss working with your mom? Do you like working with your sister?
Yeah, I do miss Shari, but it's been a long time and we've been partners for 26 years, which is amazing because I'm only 6.
That's right. How does that work?
Magic. All of us ladies in Hollywood lie about our age.
That's what I've heard that. Shari, do you think that, and I don't have to tell you, the world is tough. It's hard out there right now. For people who are going through things, do you see puppetry and what you guys do as a source of healing and things that people are going through rough times? I'm sure you've heard from people that compliment.
Mostly it's people, but a lot of times people will say to me, I had a very tough childhood. And I can't even tell you the number of times I had an abusive family, I had a tough childhood. And your mom and Lamb Chop were the only bright spots in my life. And your mom made me showed me how to be a good parent. And so I think people sometimes will say, does Lamb Chop take people back to a simpler time? Okay, the 50s were not a simpler time. The 60s were not a simpler time. There has been strife in every generation, in every decade. No. But they were 4 when they watched Lamb Chop. So yes, it was a simpler time for them
because they were just little kids. But even if it wasn't simpler, they felt safe when they watched me and when they watched Shari. And so they still feel safe when they see me.
That's beautiful. That's true too. I think there's a certain comfort that probably people have now too takes them back.
Sandwich.
That's right. Comfort, and you never go out of style.
Grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup.
That's a perfect match. You can't get much better than that.
No. As a matter of fact, that's what we're having for dinner tomorrow, honey.
What keeps the Mallory, the fires burning for you? What keeps you going kind of with this, with the legacy, with thinking about your mom and working? What?
It's more, I can't imagine what would put it out. Like it's just an internal fire that, I love to perform.
I love to perform too.
And I love meeting people And I like to say I have the best job in the world. I show up in a city I haven't been to. Somebody picks me up at the airport, takes me to a relatively good hotel, Then the next day, I get to go to a performing arts center where the sound guy makes me sound better. So I sound like I sing really well, even though I sing,
Nah, she's okay.
And then I get to sing. I get to look at videos of my mom.
What about me?
I get to perform with my little sister who I love.
And I'm really the talented one.
And then I get to meet hundreds of people who tell me that my mom would be proud of me and that they love lamb chop. And then someone hands me a check. I mean, it's a great, I love what I do. It is a feel-good job.
And I love doing social media because it's quick and it's easy and there are really good filters for Mallory.
Just like some siblings.
Yeah.
Hey, Lamb Chop, what is best about social media? Is it just that you can reach so many people?
Yes, it is that I can say whatever I want and I can reach so many people, and then people leave me comments, and then I make Mallory respond to all the comments because I can't type because I'm all thumbs.
That might be a good thing because you don't know what you might say.
Right? I love it, and I love the trends, and I love the mom used to say, if you're going to have a long career, you're going to have to be used to going in and out of fashion a lot, and you're going to have to work on staying relevant.
And social media lets me stay relevant, whatever.
Relevant. How long did it take to? Because I know you were around it a lot, but with the voice, did that take work or did that come naturally?
No.
Yeah.
No, she really has very little to do with all this. It is me. It is the magical spirit. That is me. And, I just let her help.
Thanks.
She's like my Shirta.
So you're telling me that you let her help. So you're the star of the show.
Of course I'm the star. I've been the star since the Thor. She was the one since the Thor. You were the one. I'm a superstar.
Well, you look very good for your age.
Shantae. We can talk after the show.
They've jumped.
Did what was your mom's thoughts on just the whole idea of entertaining kids, and did she kind of see that as the same thing we were talking about with tough times? And I know different generations, but did she see a niche there that she wanted to fill, or was it just to entertain?
Well, she didn't see it so much as entertaining kids, although you cannot educate without being entertaining. She wanted to say, get off the couch. You can do it. Mr. Rogers was you're perfect exactly the way you are. Mom was like, come on, you can do this. You have to try. She saw herself as the Pied Piper, and she wanted to lead it to a place where it was cool to be smart and where the viewer was a doer, not a viewer.
So it was very much, you can get out there, you can do whatever you want to do, you can be whatever you want to be.
But you have to work at it. It wasn't a platitude of you can be anything you want when you grow up. It's okay. Right. If you want to do that, you're going to have to focus on it. You're going to have to work on it. Right?
Yeah.
Do you think puppetry is oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Okay. Is puppetry the perfect medium for that to kind of, do you, and this, I don't know, this is maybe going out way in left field, but your emotions or what you're feeling and to be able to put them into puppetry and kind of act out in your own way, kind of what you're dealing with, or to help kids or help adults? Is there a connection there?
I don't know. I know that kids will talk to Lamb Chop, and in a way, a friend of mine's 4-year-old was in love with Lamb Chop, and I saw the kid the next year, 5, in love with Lamb Chop. And at 6, he was so torn because he was dying to talk to Lamb Chop and would sit and talk with Lamb Chop for 20 minutes at a time. But he also felt the need to tell me, I know that Lamb Chop's up. But then he didn't want to offend her. You know, so I think that puppets are,
What did you say?
nothing. I think that the nose of the fluffy persuasion, people let down their guard with.
Yeah. It's a little bit easier to maybe talk to, I won't say the P word, but talk to the fluffy persuasion more than it would be an adult or to maybe somebody else. It's easier to get, do you find that it's easier to get their feelings out and how they're to talk to Lamb Chop?
You know, I just know that adults, it's, again, most of my shows are filled with adults. I have very few kids coming to my shows.
That's interesting.
And well, we're not on TV.
And whose fault is that?
Probably mine. We're not on TV, so the kids don't know who Lamb Chop is, but their parents do, and their parents' parents, and their parents' parents' parents. So which is why my show is not aimed. I mean, like, there's nothing inappropriate for a child, you know.
Right.
I don't drop the F-bomb or nothing.
But it's not. I look at us as a comedy duo.
Mallory's the straight man.
Not all the time.
No straight. No Sweeney.
So, and comedy is topical.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I was running for president for a while.
She was.
Do you like politics?
I love politics. I think it is so much fun. Matter of fact, I told Mallory if she didn't start getting to do a better job, I was going to have Elon Musk fire her.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of that going on these days.
There's a lot of that going on. So we like to play around the edges, but always bearing in mind that Lamb Chop is 6. So her take on things, the questions that she might ask may be pointed, but they are the questions that a 6-year-old would ask.
Yeah.
I am simultaneously 6 and 69.
There you go. Well, you're special because you're like a time capsule. You're not going to age, so that's everybody would want that.
I love that.
I'm simultaneously 62 and 13 because I'm quite immature.
Oh no, that's, you got to have a mix. I think in life you got to have because I think that's you got to do that to get through these days. That's for sure.
When did we all, by the way, start walking around with an emotional support water bottle?
I'm the same way. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I don't think I ever drank water, and then now if I'm away from my baba, I get worried.
I'm the same way. I start looking for it. Like, where is it? And you have to take a sip every once in a while. Yeah. I think it goes past even trying to stay hydrated. I think people were just drawn to that, to have something, in your hand.
It harkens back to the day of the milky bottles.
Oh yeah, and the pacifiers, right? The little around your neck
I never had a pacifier.
You never had one?
No, because I'm good at self-soothing.
That's right. Oh, you have built-in thumbs, so you've got that taken care of. Well, you guys, I have to thank you both. You have been such a highlight of the day for me, and I just want to thank you for coming on and spending time with us because you both are great.
I have enjoyed it so much, and anytime you've got time,
we would love to come and play with you.
Oh, well, I want you to come back. I think that we need more of this. We need to have more for people to see. So please come back when you have time.
Everybody needs a little bit of Lamb Chop in their life.
That
And
is
they-
absolutely correct.
Go on TikTok, and it's at your fave lamb chop, FAV lamb chop. And on Instagram, it's Mallory Lewis and lamb chop. But basically, if you just go to the little search thing and type in Mallory Lewis and lamb chop, you'll end up with us.
You'll find. Yeah, you'll find. Well, I know one thing. I know that you both are making your mom very proud.
Aw, see? Thank you, Jason.
You're very nice, and I think you're cute too.
Lamb chop
Oh,
stuff.
thank you. Wow, you made my day. Thank you for that.
All right, you stay
Thank you
safe
both.
over there.
You too. You too.
Happiness Sold Separately is created and hosted by Jason Hensley and is produced by Makash Films. Narration by Lauren Gobis. If you or someone you know is in crisis and needs immediate help, call the National Mental Health Hotline at 866-903-3787. We would be honored if you would rate, share, and subscribe. From the entire Happiness Sold Separately team, thank you for listening.